demonstrate one of the ways that we practice Kesa Giri. In this case, Kim will be doing rising Kesa Giri, and she's going to start from Waki Gamai, which is a position with the sword pointing back and slightly down, where you're trying to hide the length of the blade from your enemy. I'm going to be in Segano Gamai. I'm striking straight down, Daijo down. Her target are these muscles and the arteries that flow under the arm. Do that one more time. And one more time, we'll just give you a little explanation about the finish. So she wants to be in a position where she's more or less pointing at me, but normally she wouldn't stop there. We'll just keep going. So that's just a good basic way of practicing this rising cut. This cut is called Kesa Giri, specifically Migi Kesa Giri, right Kesa Giri, or right monk's robe cut. So monks typically wear a robe draped over one shoulder, leaving one shoulder covered and the other shoulder bare. And the cut basically follows the angle of that robe. Migi, right, means we're cutting from right to left on a diagonal. So I start in Segano Kamai, I bring it up, coming down on a little bit of an angle. Now I'm cutting on my way up. I've got to turn the blade as I move forward. I'm going to let go with my left hand and cut upward. Now I bring the tip of the sword toward the bad guy, rotate, and as my weight from my foot drops, my sword comes down. Forward, rotate, cut. Forward, rotate, cut. So I'm going from here, lifting it to the right, my right, and I'm cutting down on the diagonal toward the left. I keep the tip of the sword pointing toward the bad guy. I move forward, rotate my blade, cut. Now, why is this hand in this position? When I'm here, I can cut with both hands on it, but it's a little bit restrictive. So I'm letting go so my blade can move a little more freely. And I'm keeping this hand handy so that it can meet based on whatever I'm going to do next. So it's not here, it's not here. It's ready to go between you and the bad guy. Here, here. Okay, so a few things I need to point out in this one. As a general rule, in Udundi, keep the tip of the sword pointing toward the bad guy. So you notice I'm not doing this right here. Tip's pointing the wrong way. And I'm not doing this. Okay. We're trying to keep the tip toward the bad guy because we don't want to add an extra move by pointing it there, and then an extra move by bringing it back to where it once was. We don't need that wind up. So you have to watch as you practice that you're thinking about very carefully about what that sword needs to be doing. So in this case, I need to bring it to the bad guy, turn it, and as my shoulder goes back, the sword comes back. For my next cut, I need to bring that point to the bad guy, rotate the blade, and as my shoulder turns, the sword comes back. So when we slice tomato, usually slice backwards. We don't usually push forward to make that cut. We pull. And that's what you want to think of with this cut. Most cuts. I need to get the sharp edge on the bad guy and slice. I need to get that sharp edge on the bad guy and slice. So I'm not trying to cut while I'm going forward. I'm trying to go forward, bring that blade to my target, and then cut. So with each of your cuts, Kesa Giri, you want to keep that in mind. First you got to reach the bad guy, then you make the cut. Now, notice also I'm not doing this. See how I drop the tip of the sword? Not that, not that. Bring it straight in, cut. Straight in, cut. Mostly the blade is parallel with the floor. It needn't be rigid. You don't want it to be rigid. It can flow a little bit, but don't do this. It's not for a bad guy who's right here. Try to extend your reach. There's a point where my body, arm, and sword are more or less aligned and I have maximum reach. That's where I want to keep the bad guy. I want to cut him way over there. I don't want him to be here. If I stop doing this, he's going to be right here. I need to bring that sword out to him and then cut. Reaching with the whole length of my body, arm, and sword. Out, cut. I want to really think about getting it to the bad guy, cutting on the way back. Now don't force it. Again, you're not chopping firewood. Just let the blade and your body motion make the motion. Notice I'm not doing this. Pointing the wrong way. Bad guy's over there. Same with my downward cut. Not letting it do that. We need to keep the sword oriented to the bad guy and between us and the bad guy whenever we can. We don't want the sword behind us. Once more, I'm going to go slow. I go upper right corner, down to the left. Try to keep your arms straight. Try not to bend as you're lifting. Nice and straight. Relax the grip. 4 smallest fingers doing the work. So that is Migi, Kesa Giri.